Welcome to the channel. I'm glad you could make it. It is a beautiful, windy fall day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. So, last time, Ducky wouldn't start. We can give it a try again. I'm pretty sure it's that fuel system. Last video, you probably saw that. If you saw the video, if not, hey, go back, watch it. But this fuel system is, we got like electrical tape and some hose clamps, and it's kinked. And we'll take a look at that. I don't think it's spark. The reason why I don't think it's spark is because when I was cranking it over, it kind of popped. It was making like some popping noises. It almost, like it was not getting enough fuel, and that carburetor's been leaking. And yeah, I'm going to go with fuel system. Could be wrong. We might just end up checking for spark. I don't know. However, it's sat now a day since had that problem with it. So let's just, for grins and giggles, try and start it again. So turn the fuel on. And yes, it has gas in it. Of course it does. Choke is on, still from last time. Vent on. Switch on. That's still on run. And let's see what it does. Yeah, it still has nothing. It could be that CDI box. A lot of times when they don't stay idling, I've found, it's the CDI box, and this one definitely did not like to idle. So it could be the CDI box just took a poop. Let's just give it another shot with no choke on. Regardless, I think either way, that fuel system probably should be gone over. Yeah, when I give it some throttle, it seems like it wants to run. So I think it's going to be fuel. But what I'm going to do is, let's just take the seat and the tank right off to get to all that mess. So let me get that off and be right back. All right, seats off, and one bolt holds the entire tank on. There's supposed to be bushings in here that hold it to the frame. The bushings are gone. But if I get you up in here, maybe you can tell me that there's the filter, and so here's the hose. You can see some sunlight coming through because the seat's off, and this hose is just, it's kinked there. It's not all the way on the filter here, and I turned the petcock off, and it is so loose. Yeah, it had some gas in it. Maybe that's not all the problem. And then you can see somebody wrapped gummy electrical tape all around it. Just delightful. That's all off now, and yeah, you can see how that was just barely pushed on there. And yeah, you can see the big old kink in it here. Oh yeah, I can feel where it's just been kinked completely. Okay, so petcock I think is working because it had fuel in it. So what I'm gonna need to do is I'm gonna pull this tank off, and well, let's see, we can probably just, I already loosened it, don't worry, it wasn't this loose. It could have been, actually. All right, bolts out. All right, and then we'll pull the tank off. Okay, tank's off. If you, let's see if we can see it better. So right here, it's just, it was kinked. It was pushed like that. Why it ran and then didn't, I have no clue. Did have some gas in it though, just maybe not enough gas. Yeah, so here's the whole setup, and that filter is not even pushed on all the way. So I got some 3/16 fuel line, I'm pretty sure somewhere around here, and I'll see what I can do about getting something there. We'll just replace the line, and I'd like to rebuild that carburetor, but maybe all it needs is a line. So we'll go see if we can cut up something like that. Okay, so here's the old filter. There's nothing wrong with the filter, but if we can get it off of here, see it's cracked, and see how bad that is flared out? It's 3/16 hose. Somebody put a 1/4 inch filter on there, and that's what was, I mean, it's cracked. It's probably leaking. Maybe that's where the leak was coming from, but that's why it was so pushed in there. I cut a piece of hose, there we go, to the right size. Check the petcock, and it's flowing fine. So I don't have a filter for that right now, but at least we can see if that's our problem. If not, we go into the carburetor. Let's get that thing on there, onto the petcock, and see if it will maybe start for us. Hopefully. And choke is on. That did not help it much. Maybe less choke. Oh, it's so close. I have a feeling I'm going to kill this battery. Well, let's turn it off there. Yeah, not as good. Okay. Well, we can check for spark just for grins and giggles, but it was pop, 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 pop. I mean, I guess it could have spark at the wrong time because of CDI, but I mean, it sounded like it was so close to wanting to fire up. So I think what we need to do is take our hose back off, and I think that carburetor needs to come out. We need to rebuild it. Oh, that's going to be the trick. To get this carburetor out, it's going to be a 10mm on each side. Stud goes through this. I think I can sneak it out without, I guess maybe I'm going to end up having to take the boot off, but see if I can't first sneak it out without doing that. Maybe I can't. Yeah, maybe I'm going to have to do that. Well, let's take those two 10mm off, and then Honda, in all its wisdom, there's a clamp that holds the other end of the boot. I don't even know if you can see it. And to get to the screw to the clamp, Honda, in their engineering genius, knew that old Kicks was going to be doing this, and they put a hole so you can get a screwdriver right in there, and then, you know, just take off your throttle. I will see if I can get that pulled out without removing that boot, and then we'll go get it on the editing table, I mean workbench, and see if we can't tear it apart and figure out what's going on. Alright, so had the old Elgor box out to be typed away, right? Well, I didn't. I had somebody do it for me. Yeah. And on the old South American rainforest website, looked up for a rebuild kit for this, which I did have to take the boot off to get it out. It was not going to cooperate, so that had to come out. Looked up a rebuild kit for this, and well, it was cheaper to actually buy a rebuilt one than to buy a rebuild kit. I mean, what's wrong with that? So for like $10 less, I got a rebuilt one. It is the same PZ27, and it came with new filter. It actually came with a slide. The only difference with it is this one has, for a choke cable, Ducky doesn't have that, so we will just swip them over. I see this one actually does have the place to put the little divot in there, or the little ball, the little locking tab, whatever it's called, but I'm not going to mess around with that. I'll just pull this one off and swap them over, because it looks like it's as easy as just taking that off and then I hope that one's not too tight. Yeah, look at that. There we go. And see if the spring goes flying out. I don't know. But everything else looks exactly the same, actually. Yeah, see, there's the little spot for it there, but I have the one for it. So let's see if we can't work that thing up. Put that one on. Put on our Kachiga. Let's see. I don't know, I might have to bend the tab for it. I don't know. Let's see. We'll use that new screw over again because it's all purty. There we go, and there we go. Perfect. Well, let me get this cleaned up, because since we're putting that on there nice and clean, let's clean this thing up, see what we can do about just getting it nice and not dirty, and then we'll assemble it onto the motor, and I don't know, maybe it'll run. I mean, this is rebuilt, so I don't think I probably do anything. I can probably just slap it on and go. I'll have to hook up the cable to the slide, or maybe I'll just use the old slide over again. I'll take a look at it. It didn't look bad. I think the main jet was clogged. It's pretty gross. You can see there's just, it's all dirt in here. It's all dirt there. If you look, maybe not. I mean, it is just, if I stick my finger in here, we'll see. Yeah, that's how gross it is in there. It's just, it's got, I don't even want to know. I don't even know what it is. It's all gummed up. It's probably never been touched. All right, new carburetor is on. And I mean new, because I think earlier I said it was rebuilt. This is a new one, and it was cheaper than a rebuild kit. So, got that boot cleaned up, and yeah, I had to take off these two to get it out. Pulled the whole thing out, came with a new slide, all set. I don't have an air filter, that's still to come, but we can at least see if it starts up, and then adjust the brakes like we were going to last time. Also, this gas tank was so floppy because up in here, little cups that it sits in. So I straightened those all out, bent them back up, and then I could not find gas tank, these bushings anywhere. So that's the thing it's been beaten on for I don't know how many years. So I came up with this. That's what I made. It is a piece of 90s Chevy pickup truck heater hose and a piece of CPVC 1/2 inch that fits over there perfectly. And then I have a little electrical tape just to make it so it fits on there tighter. I don't know. It's not right, but maybe I'll find the right part. I don't know. Regardless, I've test fitted it and it's tight, and that's what matters. So this is all on. Let's get the gas tank put back on, hook it up, throw the seat on, see if it fires up. I don't know. I see there's green paint pen on the carburetor, so it's probably already been adjusted to spec, so it should theoretically start right up. If not, well, I did go through and cleaned up all of the electrical connections because they were just packed full of mud and dirt, so that'll probably help the situation too. So let me get the tank put back on, hooked up, and see if it starts up. Okay, tank's back on. I have the petcock, it's been on for a little bit, so the bowl of the carburetor should be full of fuel. And well, let's see what we can do. The choke's on. There we go. The choke's on, so it's gonna be a little bit high on the idle. But I don't see any leaks. Works. It runs. So let me get the seat on, and then we'll go for a little loop around. Yeah, we'll go on a little light trail, whatever. We only have front brakes right now, and we'll get it back, and then we'll see. Right here is where you adjust it, so we'll just adjust that thing till the play. I mean, I don't know, it feels pretty good. I like it tighter than what they recommend, but we'll just see how it feels once we get it through the trails. So let's go do that. All right, we're back. That was fun. And you probably saw the video. The oil, you don't need to worry about it burning oil. It identifies as a 2-stroke. It's a 250R now. I'll get all the likes now. I've got a 250R. Anyways, okay, so we're back, and it idled fine. The idle actually lowered down from just ripping around, but it warmed up. So I like it. It might be a little high idle, but it's not bad. So what we're gonna do now is that drum is now spun around. It's kind of seated everything nice, and obviously I slowed down a few times. So the brakes should be pretty set in. So how I like to do it is, I think this is already pretty well, but you just kind of turn this, right? That's how you adjust it. And then I always rock it until I can stop it with the brake lever. Let's see. There we go. So we'll just hold it like that. See if we can do this two-handed. I don't even know anymore. So we'll try and get that there. And it's size of my pinky in between there. So we're looking at, about 1/2 inch. And according to Honda, this is supposed to be 5/8 to 3/4 of an inch. 1/2 inch is, 1/8 of an inch shy, but I think I like it. It's fine. It's good. If you want to do exactly what Honda says, it's 5/8, 3/4. I don't know. I just always kind of did the finger thing, and I don't know. I've never had problems with it, but I like brakes a little tighter than loose. As long as it's not dragging is what you really should care about. But that was a wrap. I mean, look, we got it running. Went from not running to running. I would have liked to rebuild the carburetor, but new one was cheaper. I mean, what do you do, right? And we took it for a little tear around, well, a partial trail. You might have seen there's a tree down. I mean, if we had a skid plate, I'd easily try to go over it. So that might be something to do. I don't know. What? Let's get those rear brakes done first. And let's get brakes on it and rear wheel bearings. And I was kind of looking underneath here, and yeah, here. So the frame's cracked. I didn't do that. So yeah, it looks like we're going to be welding. So since we have this thing apart here to do brakes and bearings, we can probably try to hammer that back, because that is a pretty good crack. It's the only damage I see left. Maybe. I don't know. So, well, that's for next time. Next time we'll go into the rear end, and I guess we're doing some welding. I'd like to braze it, but maybe arc weld? I don't know. Let's do something different. Let's do something different to make it hold. But till then, go out today. Just do one thing nice. That's a challenge for you. Go do one thing nice for somebody. Just make their day that much better. And I mean, why not? Why not make the world a better place? Till then, see ya.